aging adventurously lifestyle process that I use that helped me lose 100 pounds. And I am successfully keeping it off because this is the lifestyle that I've built and created, and it works. And from somebody who was 225 pounds and lived with obesity, asthma, depression, prediabetes, I'm here to tell you could turn all that off if you just get your diet right. And it's not just diet. It is the functional diagnostic nutrition dress process. We have to focus on diet, yes. We also have to focus on sleep, rest, exercise, movement, sunlight, circadian balance, stress, toxins, and eliminate the weight loss blocks. Find the hidden healing opportunities and use the right diagnostic labs to put your body back together again. Find out what's going on and just fill in the cracks and take away the interferences. And when we're doing this, what we're doing is we're taking away the blood sugar interference. We are taking away what raises blood sugar. We're lowering blood sugar levels in the body so that your body can get into a better healing state and reduce fatty liver so your liver can function and you could lose weight more naturally. So that's what I do. And I love being able to help my clients dial in successfully their weight loss, but also reduce their risk for disease and to correct their main complaints in 3 to 6 months. And this works, ladies. So super excited to do this. You can download my recipe book at my website. I am doing the pumpkin muffin only, and there's other reels on that, so check them out. But what I'm doing today is I'm going to put it into a loaf pan because I didn't like peeling them last time out of muffin papers, and I might eat them before Thanksgiving. So I'm just going to put them in a loaf. And I'm going to give myself one little ramekin of pumpkin, if I remember to do that, so that I could enjoy it with a cup of coffee. So I have already put in some golden monk fruit, and it's 5 eggs. It was 1/2 cup of butter, and I'm going to pour that butter in now. You want to melt the butter. If you're not doing dairy, you could do coconut oil or ghee if you need to not use dairy because you're super sensitive to dairy. Some people are. I am, but I monitor it and I manage it and I keep it to a minimum. So butter is basically the minimum during the holidays, and on holidays I'll do some cheese. Okay, so that was 5 eggs, 1/2 cup of melted butter. I put in a can of pumpkin. It calls for a can of pumpkin, but I put in a cup, and I put in a little bit too much coconut flour, so that extra pumpkin is probably going to balance out that coconut flour. What you could do normally, I forgot to measure my pumpkin. You know, it's not a science experiment. It says this works. Anyways, measure out a cup of pumpkin and save the pumpkin and add it to like coffee and make yourself a pumpkin latte. That's what's fun with it. I actually pulled out a little scoop to give to my cats for that digestive support. I used 1.5 teaspoons of real vanilla, and in this bowl I have 1/2 cup of coconut flour, and on 1 tablespoon extra I have in here the 1.5 cups of alum. You can use monk fruit, or allulose is better if you're having a problem with losing weight and you need to control your appetite and you want to activate GLP-1. You can use allulose. A little bit more expensive, but it works better for the body to actually lose weight more, and then you could be more successful at reducing your cravings. Then teaspoon baking powder. I'm not going to add nuts to this recipe nor chocolate chips. I did that last time, and I want more of a savory loaf this time rather than a sweet one, so I'm not adding that much in there. If this was for me only, I think I would have cut back a little bit on the sugar, which I actually did. So the reason I stay low carb and live the lifestyle of aging adventurously is because I can have energy. I don't gain the weight back. I feel good. I've turned off my disease risk. I feel good in my body. When I keep everything low carb, and your body will thrive because you've lowered your insulin levels in the body. I am an obesity type. My DNA and everybody in my family has had diabetes, obesity, cancer, and so I needed to regulate my body's immune system, lower the glucose and carbs coming in so that I could actually lose weight. There was no way that I was ever successful. I was never successful. I lived the merry-go-round of weight gain and weight loss and weight gain. And once I got off, I'm not going back to that. It was horrifying to live depressed, having asthma. And you know, I had anxiety and depression, and I had phlegm. I had bronchitis and sinusitis, and it never went away. So I'm so grateful to be living a keto, low carb lifestyle, aging beautifully and adventurously. I do not feel deprived. I eat what I want to eat. I have a little cookie and some pecans here that I'm kind of nibbling on with my coffee. That's my dessert. I had my probiotic yogurt with some fiber in it and some ginger. And you know, Thanksgiving's coming up, so I'm making some pumpkin bread. And so since I'm making it, I'm here live, showing up. If you have any questions, you want me to ask anything, let me know. Hi, how are you doing? This works for men as well as women, but my voice, because I'm a woman, is to women over 50, because this is the holistic side of lifestyle that actually helps you keep weight off once you lose it. You can lose weight and starve yourself, but you may not do it well enough to keep the weight off. So when we starve ourselves, we are actually just kind of like suppressing the fat cells, and then all of a sudden you start eating the way you ate before, you just gain all the weight back. So we want to not have that happen. And so when you eat low carb and eat what you need to nourish your body and create more muscle, what you get is permanent weight loss. And as you continue to create the lifestyle around this, it's not about never having a snack in the future. It's, do you want it? Will it cause you to gain the weight back? You have to decide those as you build your lifestyle. And this is all about creating those lifestyle steps. So that's why I'm coming here daily. Today it's twice daily, you get the bonus. And because I want to show you how to do it. I want you to know it's possible. I want you to know you could reverse diabetes. I want you to know you could reverse obesity. And I want you to know that you could keep the weight off. And if you're having trouble with that, that's what I do. I help people implement this process. I use diagnostic labs. I use my lived experience, my education. This is my passion. And I help you put your body back together again in 3 to 6 months. If you need longer, we can go longer. But that's what I do. And I'm super proud of it. And I'm super passionate. And I'm grateful to be able to be here to help other people with my, my pain to purpose. My passion is like, I don't even recognize the person I was in the past. I'm post pictures every now and then, but I'm not that person anymore. I outgrew her. I grew into the woman that I wanted to be, that I could be. We can all do that. We just have to let go of the stress and the worry and the fear. And I help you do that too, because my certainty and my conviction, I understand what you need to do. And so when we get this done, it's easier. And when you get and step into it and get started, it's not as hard as you think it is. When you think about having to give up the sugar and the bread, you're going to feel overwhelmed. What you want to do is go to my website, download my recipe book, got my recipe book page, on the little hamburger link, look for the recipe page. Download that, get on my email list, and get those recipes. Do the food bridges, get off the ultra processed food. Do that. Be that your favor for you. January 1st, no later. Do it sooner if you can for the holidays. Why eat the crap that's going to poison you if you can just do this? If you can just, I'm going to start mixing. If you can just make everything low carb, isn't that amazing? Now, when I was 35, I wish I had this information because I was stuck and sick till I was 53. So here's somebody, accuracy, you're 30. That's amazing. Is it, finding someone to date who's actually doing low carb? Is that the process? You got to support yourself, live with yourself, and support your health. You can't worry about the other person. You let them know what it is you need to do and what your lifestyle is. When I date, the guys I date know that I'm only going to eat the meat and the vegetables and a hamburger salad, and that's it. They pay for that. And that's great. That's what you want to do. You want to make sure that you protect yourself and eat the food that you need to eat, and it's okay to protect yourself and say that you're going to eat that. You don't have to eat what they're eating. You eat what you need to eat. That's the way I do it. I'm actually dating somebody right now that's on a keto diet because he needed to be. So I'm like, this is great. So, you know what? Teach them, train them, tell them what it is they need to be healthy so they don't drop dead of a heart attack when they're 60. Basically, that's what we want to do. All right. Let me just whip this up a little bit. Any other questions? Let's see. I'm not using almond flour. I'm actually using coconut flour because it's more fiber, doesn't have any oxalates, and it's lower carb, and it's good fiber for your digestive tract. I like to minimize almond for the cookies because too much almonds can have oxalates. So whether or not you have an oxalate problem or not, I like to use recipes that do have coconut flour. But you could find, you could type in keto and look for a muffin with almond flour. But I just prefer coconut flour. It makes it a little more hearty, a little more more satisfying, more filling, and it's not oxalates in the body. And I save almond flour for other times. I don't have an oxalate issue, but some people do, so you do want to be careful of that in the future. I don't bake here, so that's not something that's going to happen. You have to be in Southern California, and you got to be able to meet me, and that's that. So, and you're too young if you're 30. Sorry about that. Okay, coconut fiber. Yes, coconut is really good, and when you get coconut oil, that's good for your body. So, a lot of the questions are coming around. All right, guys. This is, I've already pre-mixed the coconut flour, salt, baking powder, and 5 teaspoons of pumpkin pie spice. Put that in here. So follow the food bridges. Get off of ultra-processed food. They're going to kill you. And if not now, it's going to be a slow death because it is not good for our body. As long as your insulin levels are high, we're going to have, you might just have depression. You might have prediabetes. You might have autoimmune. You're going to have thyroid problems. There's all the lifestyle diseases in our life that are happening. 9 out of the 10 lifestyle diseases. They're lifestyle diseases. They're preventable. They can be reversible if you catch them in time. That's what you need to know. And it's not about curing disease. It's about it's about reducing your risk and not getting them. It's about prevention, guys. And low carb diet will help you prevent disease and help you live longer and better and help you thrive, age young, over 50, keep your bones, keep your muscles, and not decline and end up in a nursing home. That's the goal. All right. Put any questions down. I used to measure my glucose and ketones, but I actually did a CGM, so really a good thing to do, especially for January 1st, and I actually can offer that to people in my program, is you could get a CGM. And a CGM for 2 weeks, for a month, will show you what foods you're eating that you might be reacting to, that are causing you to have higher blood sugar levels, and even your stress. So that's a good thing to try. It's a really good step to do, a CGM, to check your glucose and blood meat. I've also used Keto Mojo. That's the one I've used, but I did do that I did do the CGM last October, not this October, the year before, and it didn't raise very far. It would go up when I exercise, which is supposed to, because it has to raise insulin to build muscle, and then it just drops down really fast. But I wasn't eating anything that was raising my blood sugar, so my blood sugar is pretty stable. I usually fast a minimum of 12 hours every night. I might fast 12 to 16 hours, depending on when I stop eating. I have a standing position that I go to that starts at like 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So I don't eat after 2 o'clock in the afternoon during the week. Now on the weekend, when I'm home and I'm baking and doing all these things, I'm gonna nibble. But what I'm gonna be fixing for dinner is some chicken, and I have my cauliflower. I'm gonna mash up cauliflower, and I'm gonna use coconut milk and butter to mash up the cauliflower, because I love mashed cauliflower. And I'm gonna have that with some baked chicken. So that's dinner. And looking forward to that. And tomorrow I'm making some beef steak tips into chili, and I'm gonna cook that in a crock pot, and I'm gonna have that for dinner tomorrow with probably some arugula salad, because that's the only other lettuce I have in the house. So, okay. So when you're using coconut flour, the thing to know about that is you cannot replace it with almond flour. You have to find a different recipe. Coconut flour is very dense, and it needs liquid, so you have to use 5 eggs for like a half a cup of coconut flour to give it the moisture. And I don't know if you can tell, but it's thick enough here. See, it's thickening up. If you just try to replace 1/2 cup of coconut flour with 5 eggs and almond flour, it's going to be too thin, too runny, and so you do need to change that recipe and find something else instead. So just keep that in mind. They're not replaceable one-on-one. All right, so I am, like I said, I'm feeling lazy today. I'm using a bread pan. I don't feel like making muffins, so I'm making bread, but that's okay. I forgot my, okay, this is what I forgot. Gotta get it out of the bowl. And right, you know, you can't see it, but right behind my cell phone here where the camera is, I'm making my probiotic yogurt again, because I'm trying to do 2 a day right now. My super gut probiotic yogurt. So many things we can do when we actually start focusing on lifestyle changes. And everybody might be in a different place. Not everybody has the same goals or the same body conditions, the same symptoms. So there's labs that we can run to find out what's going on in your body. So you can run a Dutch test, a Dutch hormone test. You can run a GI map test, and that's going to map out your gut and your digestive tract. And you can run permeability, metabolic panels. We can run a food sensitivity test. I run told you I was putting a little aside for myself, I forgot. Run a food sensitivity test and a hair tissue mineral analysis. Those are the ones that I've used to find hidden healing opportunities. You know what, because I'm talking to you guys, I'm a little distracted, but I forgot to butter the ramekin. It would not have come out. There's a little bit of butter left in here. Let's just get it out, and I'll just get this ramekin ready. There we go. Voila, no problems at all. Just got to keep doing things. Never give up, never stop. If something's not working, you look for the, you know, you think, okay, why is this not working? What else can I do? What tests can I run to find out what's going on in my body? There's always, everything's always figure outable, you know. Maria Folio says everything is figure outable, and it is really. So we want to figure it all out and live our best lives, but we don't want to accept sickness. We don't want to accept declining and breaking our bones, losing our muscles, and ending up in a nursing home. We want to get down on the ground and play with our grandkids. We need to be able to get back up again. So all of these things happen. Making pumpkin bread for the holidays is so easy. And download my recipe book at my website, Lori Ballou. That's Lori, Lori, and Ballou, that's value with the B, Balue. And you can find me on a discovery call if you want to get to the next level and get this taken care of. Why keep the symptoms year after year? Why not just resolve them and find out what's going on in your body and get it done in 3 to 6 months? It happens. I do it all the time with my clients. So I'm super excited to, if you reach out, let me know. Leave a comment, like and subscribe, download my recipe book, and I'll post a picture of this on Instagram. So hop on Instagram and take a look at it, and I'll see you soon. Bye. Oh, hold on. Somebody had a question and I forgot to read it. Blood sugar should be under 100. It should be under 90. Yes, never should go up over 100 unless you are exercising, or if you raise your blood sugar to 120 and it drops down quickly, that's good. If your blood sugar goes up over 120 all the time, that's bad. And that's turning on autoimmune problems. You want to keep your blood sugar within this green range, which if you get a CGM, it will show you that. So that's something to keep an eye on. If you exercise, it's going to go up, and that's okay. It'll come back down. It's supposed to go up and come back down, not go up and stay up. It needs to come down. And so fasting blood sugar should be under 100. I think 100 probably pre-diabetic. You need to be a little bit lower. And then at my website, you could get my recipe again, loriballou.com. And it's, yeah, I don't have the link for it here. I could put it in the description. Some of my other YouTube videos and descriptions have the link, but it's loriballou.com, and that's B-A-L-U-E. I'm the only Lori Ballou. It's not value. It just looks like value, but it'll come up. I'm out there. You can find it. If not, DM me recipe and I'll send you the link. Talk to you guys soon. Bye.